Hi guys, Casper MMA here, and today I'm back with another Cage Warriors prediction video on the channel, and today I'm giving my predictions for Cage Warriors 193 Hardwick versus Junior. Now, the last Cage Warriors prediction video I did was for Cage Warriors 192 Hack versus Scott. That went really well. We got so many picks right, especially we think we got the whole main card correct. So, hope you guys followed that and made some money. And we've got a pretty decent card this weekend, so I'm going to give my predictions for it. But before I do that, make sure if you guys are new around here and you're enjoying this content, you can go down below and hit that subscribe button. It's free and it's really appreciated. So, there's a lot of fights on this week's card, 15 in total. And we kick things off with the first prelim of Alexis Tsarmantidis versus McHugh Elliott. Now, the Greek man with a very hard name to pronounce, Tsarmantidis, is 4-2, 27 years old currently. Lost his first fight in Cage Warriors this year. He lost to Lally by submission, but before that he was on a 3-fight winning streak, 2 wins coming by round 1 KO, and he's only had one other loss on his record, which he also got finished in. He got KO'd by a liver kick in that fight. His opponent, McHugh Elliott, is a Northern Irish man, 5-2 record in total. He looks decently fair on a 3-fight win streak in Cage Warriors. Before he had a loss to George Staines in Octagon, who is also fighting on this card, to be fair. But before that, his only other loss in Cage Warriors was to a split decision. But he's been on a decent run at the minute. 2 wins coming by submission. His last win coming by decision, which was a decent win, to be fair. So I do think this should be a decent fight, and I think Elliott is going to take the win, and I feel like Elliott's going to win by submission. And now we move up the card to Tom Wright versus Richard Kallos. Now, Tom Wright is a 2-2 English man. Currently, he won his last fight in April this year by round 1 KO to 7-7 Ian Postlethwaite. But before that, he got submitted by Joe Fields, then got a win himself by submission. So, in his first ever fight, he got submitted. So all his fights have ended in either KO or submission. He's never gone to decision in his career. Well, I mean, never actually left the first round in his career so far. He's got 2 wins in round number 1 and 2 losses. His opponent, Richard Kallos, is a Romanian man, 4-2. He is 37 years old, so he's getting on quite a bit, but he's on a 2-fight win streak. To be fair to him, in Cage Warriors, won one by both of them by round 1 submission. So I do think he is quite good. I mean, all of his wins have actually come by round 1 submission. Has lost twice before, but I do think this should be a win for Kallos here. I mean, he is 37, but I just feel like, I mean, he's gonna win. If he's gonna win, he's gonna win by submission. Tom Wright's been submitted before, so I'm gonna back this fight to end in round number 1 by submission to Kallos. And now we move up the card to a women's fight, Lexi Rook versus Giada Ghizzo. Now, Lexi Rook is an English woman, 2-3 record, so has more losses than she has wins, and that's because she's on currently a 2-fight losing streak at the minute, and she's been KO'd in both of them 2 fights. But before that, she was on a 2-fight winning streak, where she actually got KO of her own, but she was facing a 3-7 opponent, so make of that what you will. But yeah, she's lost 3 times, been finished in 2 of them. Her opponent, Ghizzo, is a 2-0 undefeated Italian woman, 25 years old. Both of her wins have came by submission, both actually by Americana submission. So she looks not too bad, to be fair. I mean, not much to say there. She's won 2 fights, both by submission, and I reckon she's going to win this one. I mean, the fact that Rook's been finished twice in the last 2 fights, Ghizzo's got finishes in the last 2 fights, I reckon Ghizzo is going to win by submission. And now we move up the card to Jeff Pavey versus Fraser Patterson. Now, Pavey is a 2-0 Englishman, 31 years old. Both his wins have came by KO, both this year as well. Actually, he's been active, to be fair. Already fought twice and fighting again now. I mean, he's looked all right. 2 wins, 2 finishes. His opponent, Fraser Patterson, is making his professional debut. The Scottish man, but he has a pretty decent amateur record. He's 10-1 and 1 draw as well. And his only loss in amateur was his first fight. Since then, I mean, he's looked good. He's got many finishes. I mean, that's all I can say about him. He's not fought professionally yet, and that's the tough decision to make in this fight. Do I think that Patterson making his professional debut is gonna because sometimes amateur records don't translate well into professional fights? They'll go with Pavey because he's already fought twice. I'm not too sure. I mean, don't know what to pick here, but I'm going to back Pavey since he's already had 2 fights, won them both convincingly, so I'm going to back Pavey to win by decision. Now we move up the card to Mackenzie versus Harvie. Now, the Welshman, Mackenzie, I have no idea how to say a first name, mate. I have to look up a YouTube pronunciation, Yayon or Yayon or something. No idea, mate. That's the weirdest name I've ever seen. Welshman, 4-2, 24 years old. Currently, won his last fight by submission, but before that, he did lose 2 in a row, where he also got submitted himself to Simon, but Simon's a pretty decent opponent, to be fair. Did start his career off by winning 3 wins in a row, all by submission. So he is, well, to be fair, one of them is technically a KO because it's a submission to punches, but he started off his career well, lost 2 in a row, but then bounced back with a win in February this year with another submission. So he's got quite a few submission wins. Does Mackenzie. On the other hand, we have Harvie, the Scottish man, 8-4-2 record, 27 years old. I mean, somehow he had like 2 draws in a row in his career, which is kind of funny. But he's currently was on a 3-fight winning streak, but then he lost his last fight to undefeated Greece man, Mumtzes. Lost that this year, but before that, he was on a pretty decent run. He's a decent fighter, to be fair. I still think Harvie is quite good, even though he did lose the last fight. So I'm going to back Harvie to win this one. I think it should be close, this one. Both these guys do have a good chance of winning, but I'm going to back Harvie to win by decision. And now we move up the card to Jake McHugh versus Connor Patterson. Now, McHugh is a 2-1 Englishman. It's funny because 2 of his fights have been against the same person out of 3. He's fought in Octagon before. Lost his very first fight to this guy called Herkseg. Got submitted by him, but then recently, last year, submitted the same guy I lost to by round 1 submission. So all of his wins and losses have came by submission. He's on a 2-fight win streak at the minute. Both wins coming by submission. So interesting record. His opponent, Connor Patterson, is a 1-0 record. The British man, 25 years old, won his first fight by submission. So both these guys know how to submit their opponents. But who do I think is going to win this one? I mean, honestly, not too sure. But I'm going to back Patterson to win this one. I reckon there's a high chance this fight's going to finish by submission, since both these guys like to finish the fights that way. So I'm going to back Patterson to win by submission. And now we move up the card to Sam Kelly versus Giovanni Fernandez. Now, Sam Kelly is 5-4, Englishman, 30 years old. Not on a good run at the minute. I mean, he's lost 3 fights in a row, been finished in his last 2 fights, and then lost a decision before that. Before though, he was on a decent run. KO'd Pavey by round 1 in like 11 seconds into the fight. Won two in a row by submission. So he was on a decent run, to be fair, but he kind of fell downhill a bit, fought some decent opponents and lost. His opponent, Giovanni Fernandez, is a 3-3 Frenchman, currently coming off a loss as well. Lost a decision in his last fight this year. Before that, did win by submission, and all of his wins have come by finish, to be fair. Has been finished twice as well, though, in his career, but some decent opponents. But honestly, this fight could go either way, let's be real. I don't think either of these guys are that good, really, but I'm going to back Fernandez to win. I mean, Sam Kelly's on a 3-fight losing streak. Confidence probably isn't very high, so I'm going to back Fernandez to win by decision. And now we move up the card to Michael Tchamou versus Jordan O'Neill. Now, Tchamou, I don't know how you say his name, Cameroonian man, 6-5 record, 34 years of age. All of his wins have came by either KO or submission, but also all of his losses have also either come by KO or submission. I mean, he's been KO'd 4 times in his career, but also won 4 times by knockout. He actually got KO'd in round number 1 in his last fight to some guy, I'm not going to try and pronounce his name, got round 1 KO, but before that was on a 3-fight winning streak. All wins in round number 1, 2 by guillotine and 1 win by KO. So he's all right. I mean, he's beat quite a few opponents. I mean, he's not beat anyone that great, really. I mean, 2 of his last 3 wins have been against guys with a losing record, and then his other win was a guy who's 1-1. So he does lose to people that are actually quite good, but does have a fair few wins himself. Jordan O'Neill, on the other hand, is a 3-0 Northern Irishman. all 3 wins. I mean, he's got 2 wins by round 1 finish, 1 win by decision as well. Obviously, not fault to anyone that high level really, but he's still getting the job done, and I do think he's pretty good. So I do think that Jordan O'Neill is going to get this job done, and I reckon O'Neill gets the KO. Now, next up on the card, we have Grant Ogborne versus Michael Blair. Now, Ogborne is a form-free Englishman, 30 years of age, currently on a 2-fight winning streak. 1 win coming by head kick KO in round 1, then his last win came by submission. So on a decent run, to be fair. Before that, did lose 2 in a row. To be fair, got submitted before, but he's doing all right at the minute. Last time he was in Cage Warriors, he did get KO'd in round number 3. It was a standing TKO though, so not the worst. But overall, he's not the worst fighter in the world. Not got the worst record. Michael Blair, on the other hand, is a form-free Scottish man, so same record, 3 years younger, 27 years old. Also, he's coming off a loss in his last fight by a cut KO this year. But before that, did win 2 decision wins in a row. Got KO'd by Tariq Pell, but he's a good fighter, to be fair. Can forgive him for that loss. And then has had 2 wins by KO in his career as well. So both these guys not got too bad records. Blair is coming off a loss, but I feel like he's going to bounce back with a win in this fight, and I reckon Blair wins by decision. And now we move up to the main card now. Rhys McEwan versus Elton Armindo. Now, Rhys McEwan is 8-3, Scottish man, 28 years old. Was looking pretty good. He was on like a 4-fight winning streak at one point with quite a few finishes in Cage Warriors, but then he fought Liam Gittins, lost by decision, then lost a split decision to Cameron Elt as well, but managed to bounce back with a win in his last fight over Miguel Harrow. Got the round 3 submission, so did well to get the finish in that fight. And now he's fighting undefeated prospect Armindo from Portugal. He's only 23 years old, and he looks pretty good. I mean, his last 3 fights have all come by wins by KO. Before that, he had 3 wins by decision, so he does look pretty good. Only 23 years old as well, looking dangerous in his recent fights. But that's the thing. I don't know if this is going to be too high of a step up to fight Rhys McEwan. Obviously, not like Rhys McEwan's the best fighter in the world, but I don't know who the opponents Armindo's been fighting already. But I'm going to take the chance and I'm going to back the undefeated man in Armindo to get this job done, and reckon he gets it done by decision. And now we move at the card to Mateusz Figlak versus Tom Crosby. Now, Mateusz Figlak is a Polish man, 8-2 record. It's quite good, to be fair. I mean, his 2 losses. One of them came to Ian Gary, who obviously is doing well in the UFC, and his other loss came in 2022 to Jim Wallhead. Got KO'd there in round number 1, but he hasn't fought since 2023, to be fair. Got a decision win in his last fight, and overall, he's quite good. I mean, he's got a lot of wins by finish in his career, 5 wins in total, 3 wins by decision, and his opponent, Tom Crosby, is 8-4-1 record, 37 years old, so he's getting on a bit at the minute. Has lost his last 2 fights in a row, got submitted in 1, then lost a split decision in Octagon in his last fight, but has a few wins by finish himself in his career. He's got 6 wins, 3 wins by KO, 3 wins by submission, but I just feel like this should be an easy win for Figlak. I just can't see him losing to Crosby, so I'm going to back Figlak to win by KO. And now we move up the card to Orlando Wilson Prins versus Andrew Fisher. Now, Wilson Prins is a 5-4 Dutch man, currently on a 2-fight losing streak. He's not been doing too well. Got KO'd by Harry Hardwick, who we saw in the UFC, not do too well, and then got KO'd in his last fight by Ruggieri. But both decent opponents, to be fair, in terms of Cage Warriors sense. Before that, did have a win by KO himself, and you know what? He's had a few decent wins. Lost quite a few times in Cage Warriors. I think he's 2-4 in total in Cage Warriors, so not done too well. Andrew Fisher, on the other hand, is 19-10-1 British man, 40 years old, so he must be close to retiring now. He's not been doing too well. His last fight was a KO against Paradisa in Octagon, and then that was back in 2023. So he has took a good 2 years off, but did get KO'd in his last fight. Hasn't been doing too badly, to be fair to him, for being 40 years old. I mean, obviously he hasn't been fighting that actively. I mean, he's only lost 2 fights in his last 6 or 7 fights, so he's been doing He's not been on a good run recently, but overall he's been doing all right. So I reckon this is a tough one because both these guys have lost twice in a row in the last 2 fights. Probably is winnable for either of them as well, which is funny to say. But I've got to back Prins, even though I don't think he's that great. He's fighting a 40-year-old. If he can't win this, he should probably retire himself. So I'm going to back Prins to win by KO. And now we move up the card to where George Staines versus Willian Batista. Now, George Staines, 6-0 Englishman, only 24 years old as well, so very young. Currently doing really well in Octagon. I'm pretty sure I picked against him when he fought at Fuka, and he got the job done in his last fight by decision. And yeah, I mean, he's looked really good. He's got some good wins as well on his record. I just think he's a pretty good fighter, George Staines, and he's got a long career ahead of him because he's only 24 years old. And his opponent, Willian Batista, is a Brazilian man, 12-6 record, 26 years old. He's on a good winning streak, to be fair. He's 4 fights in a row he's won, 2 by KO. His last 2 wins have come by decision. But I just feel like he's been fighting like Brazilian regional scene stuff. I just don't think the level of opponents is what George Staines has been fighting. So I'm going to back George Staines to win by decision. And now we move up to the co-main event. Chris Bungard versus Simone Patrizi. Now, Chris Bungard is a 21-10 Scottish man, 36 years old, so he's getting on a bit, but he's still got it. He's still got it in him. Won his last 2 fights in a row, both by submission. I mean, if Chris Bungard's winning, he's mostly winning by submission. He's got 12 wins in total in his career by submission. Obviously, he's lost a few times in cage before, when he fought for the title against George Hardwick, got KO'd. I mean, and he's been submitted in like Bellator before and stuff. So he does lose quite a bit, but he's also got a few wins to fair himself. He does like a submission win. His opponent, Patrizi, is an Italian man, 7-4 record, 31 years old. Has lost his last 2 fights in Cage Warriors. Got KO'd in round number 1 in one of them, then lost his last fight to Shelley by decision. He's quite dangerous to be fair. He's got 4 wins by KO in his career, and he's got 2 wins by KO in Cage Warriors, but he's currently 2-3 in total in Cage Warriors. So I just don't think he's going to be the level to beat Chris Bungard. Obviously, probably could. I'm not ruling it out, but I think Bungard is going to have a chance to win in this fight. I'm going to back Bungard to get the submission. And now we move up to the main event. George Hardwick versus Nonato Jr. Now, George Hardwick, 13-3 record, British man, 28 years old. Obviously, he lost his last fight, lost the belt to Samuel Silva, who we just seen got like starched on the Contender Series to like a 38-year-old. Don't know what he was doing there, but around that, he lost on the Contender Series, George Hardwick. But he's been all right since his last loss in Cage Warriors. He obviously has a lot of wins, defended the belt like 3 times or something, and obviously has quite a few wins by KO. Obviously, his brother didn't do too well recently in the UFC. I mean, both the Hardwick brothers, they're good at Cage Warriors, and then they're not ready for a step up in competition, it seems. His opponent, Hardwick, is a junior, who's 14-9-1 in total, 31 years old. On a 2-fight win streak, both wins coming by submission. Has fought in Cage Warriors before, lost it to Adam Cullen by KO in round number 1. But he's very dangerous by submission, this guy. I mean, out of 14 wins, he's got 12 by submission, 2 wins by decision as well. Has been KO'd 4 times, though, in his career. But if there's any path to victory for Junior, it will be by submission. But I don't think he's going to be able to submit George Hardwick. We've not seen Hardwick be threatened by that before. So I'm going to back Hardwick to bounce back for a win and get the KO. So there we have it. There are my predictions for Cage Warriors 193. Let me know down in the comments if you agree or disagree with any of my picks. And that's all for today's video. If you guys enjoyed, maybe leave a like, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.